Black History Month is definitely something to be celebrated, and so today I'm going to be sharing with you all how we incorporate Black History Month into our homeschool curriculum. Welcome, my name is Heaven. I am a stay-at-home mom, wife, and homemaker. Here I vlog about all things motherhood and lifestyle. I create helpful, relatable, realistic, and motivational content for you all. So if that's something that you're into, definitely subscribe to my channel. I would love to have you here. But let's go ahead and get into today's video topic, and that is how we incorporate Black History Month into our homeschool preschool curriculum. Because my son Noah is only 3 years old, incorporating Black History Month into our homeschool lessons, it's not going to be that hard. It's actually going to be quite simple, something that he can follow along with, and something that he can thoroughly enjoy and have fun with. But this is also something that you can do with multiple age school children through grade school, even middle school, and even ourselves as adults can kind of just use these lessons to learn more about Black History Month. So the first thing that we're going to be using in our Black History Month unit study is Little Legends, Exceptional Men in Black History. This book covers 35 plus famous Black history men. You can do one per day and cover the full month of February and still have some left over. We personally don't do school on the weekend, so there is more than enough lessons just inside of this one book. This book is $17.99 in the US and $22.99 in Canada, but I'm pretty sure I spent a little bit less than this on Amazon, so I'll be sure to leave a link for it below and show you guys exactly what I paid for it. Each story is about 1 page long, and then it has a picture of the person that is talking about. So for instance, on the first page it's talking about Benjamin Banneker, and it has just basically a brief bio of who he was, what he was famous for, and it has one on every single page. All different types of famous men in Black history. It has Frederick Douglass, Bass Reeves, Robert Smalls, Charles Henry Turner. It has authors, publishers, astronauts, architects. It has a bunch of different types of Black history famous legends that are worth learning about. So you can kind of just pick out the ones that you want, or like I said, you can do one per day, and this is just one great way to introduce someone in Black history and talk about it with your child. Another book that we're going to be using is The ABCs of Black History. I love this book. It's super cute, and basically it's also a book of affirmation. A is for anthem, a banner of song that wraps us in hope, lets us know we belong. We lift up our voices, lift them and sing from stages and street corners, let freedom ring. So it teaches rhyming, and it teaches alphabet, letter sounds, as well as Black history, and it is a colorful, very pretty, and aesthetically pleasing book, and it has a bunch of different Black history affirmations and things that you can learn about. It also affirms to your child that they can also be brave, they can also be bright, they can also be strong. So each letter of the alphabet will relate to something in Black history, and it's pretty hefty as well. This is a pretty long book. So you could definitely like read this all in one day, or you could split it up. I'm just gonna see how Noah does with it. I might use it to start off a lesson. So this is another book that we're going to be using. A third book is Baby Boy, What Will You Be? So this one is more tailored to toddlers, younger, children. These two books are for multiple ages of school age children, not just for the little ones. But what I like about this book is that it doesn't just teach them about the people in our history, but it also teaches them that the future is important as well, to continue being great and just continue on that success. So it talks about all of the things that they too can be, how you can be an astronaut, how you can be an architect, a scientist, a community helper, all the things that they too can be, so that after hearing about all of the greatness of those who came before us, they can also know that they too can do the same and follow in those footsteps. Another thing that I think is very important to include in Black history is some family ties. So we're also going to incorporate some people in our own family that I think it's worth highlighting as well. For instance, my husband, Noah's father. We're going to also take a day to do a project that's specifically about my husband's accomplishments and who he is, so that he has someone that he personally knows who was great and who he can look up to and follow in those footsteps. So it's important to maybe look into like siblings, yourself, your spouse, your aunts, your grandparents, and things like that, and also highlight them in Black history as well, so that our children can relate to it a little bit more. Someone more close, someone more personal, someone that they know, maybe even like a famous musician, a famous artist, or a favorite sports player, and things like that. Aside from that, and another way that my little one loves learning is through both hands-on and also through some video. As far as visual learning through like videos and things like that, we're also going to do some read alouds and videos. So I'm going to be sharing down below in the description box some links to some YouTube channels that I really like for like read alouds and educational videos, but I'm going to just show you or tell you some of the ones that we're also going to be using. So Kids Academy on YouTube has the cutest story of Martin Luther King Jr. that I think little ones can follow along to. We watched this video for Martin Luther King Day and he enjoyed it, and he actually was engaged and paid attention. So we're definitely going to revisit it. It was only 4 minutes long, and again, it was super cute, and even like the illustrations were easy for children to follow along with. So that's Kids Academy, and I'll be sure to link it down in the description box for you below so that you too can check it out if you're interested in using it for your Black History homeschool lessons as well. And then as far as our read alouds, the Little Reading Nook is really great for read alouds. They have a Mae Jemison book read aloud that I really love, and of course you can actually purchase these books offline and read them yourselves. You don't have to do the read alouds, but so that my son can kind of just have something more visual outside of my everyday boring reading, just a little bit more that he can watch with like some illustrations like on the screen, because I know he sometimes kind of just prefers that. The Storytime Family is another great one for read alouds. They have a really cute book read aloud about Rosa Parks. The name of the book is Little People, Big Dreams. They have a ton of books about famous people in our history, not just Black history, that you can check out the books on Amazon, or you can do like me and just find a good read aloud channel and not pay anything for it. So the Little Reading Nook has Martin Luther King Jr., Mae Jemison, and Frederick Douglass. The Storytime Family has Rosa Parks. And then Kids Academy has a really cute story about Martin Luther King Jr. as well. So check all of those out if you're looking for some educational Black history videos to incorporate into your homeschool lessons. And again, I'll leave them down below in the description box so that you can check them out as well. And if I find the physical books on Amazon, I'll link those for you too. So for the hands-on portion, if there is like a African American museum near you or things like that, then that will be a perfect opportunity to take your child on a field trip to. So we are going to take a trip to the African American Museum here in Michigan, and on that day, we're going to learn a few different things. Let him have some fun hands-on activity, because the museum has a few things that you can do hands-on that's a little bit more fun. Gets him out of the house, and while we're there, we're gonna figure out one person that we can come home and just do a small little unit study and project on. So every single week, we're gonna choose one person to highlight for the entire week, and then in addition, we're going to learn about one person every day in this book. But using a week to kind of highlight one person in Black history gives them a little bit more time to really narrow in and learn on that person. We're only in preschool, so every single school year, if we're doing this for the month of Black history, and just know that Black history does not have to only be celebrated just for the month of February. I think it's very important to include a Black history curriculum as your children get older into just everyday homeschool learning, and not just for the month of February. But for the month of February, every single year, if we learn about one person for an entire week, years down the line, I think he will have a thorough grasp of certain individuals if we're not just speeding through it, and then we also revisit them throughout the school year. So that is what we're going to do. So each week one person, and I think we're probably going to do, because this book doesn't cover any women, I think we're going to focus more on the women, like Rosa Parks, Mae Jemison. We might do Martin Luther King again, because we did Martin Luther King on Martin Luther King Day last month, but we're gonna do a little bit more about that because it's familiar with him. When we go to the museum, we're gonna pick one more person, hopefully a female. Probably do Harriet Tubman, because I think Harriet Tubman is really highlighted at the museum that we're gonna be going to. So Rosa Parks, Mae Jemison, Harriet Tubman, and Martin Luther King are probably the 4 people that we're gonna be highlighting per week, and then we'll do an exceptional man every single day out of that book. So a trip to the African American Museum is definitely going to spark his interest just a tad bit more than just the books that we're going to be reading. It's not too much, it's quite simple. We're gonna try to find ways to do projects and make it fun. 1 per week. Just use like a board, nothing big, a small board that you can get from the dollar store for $1. We can just do something on each person each week, do a little project out of it, and then for the last week I want to take an opportunity and allow my son to use a few magazines and things around him to create his own board to kind of just show me what he likes, what some of his interests are, and who he would like to be when he grow up as well. So if you haven't yet asked your child what they want to be when they grow up, you know, maybe look at some of the inspiration in the past will kind of spark some inspiration for them in the future. So that pretty much sounds like what we're going to be doing for our Black History Month. So comment below and let me know how you teach your little one about Black history. I would love to know. And if you found this video helpful, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And of course, subscribe to my channel for more content just like this. Thank you for being here. Until next time.